Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. You search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Give us a follow on Twitter at Locked On ATL. I'm at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno. Don't forget to check out all the shows here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. This is A to Z. I've Hitting Hard with John Chuckery, ATL Day Ones with Jarvis Davis and Tanisha Batiste. Our Braves postcast after every Braves game. Locked On Falcons, Locked On Hawks, getting you ready for football and NBA respectively, as we turn the corner to fall here. Can't believe it's already coming up on September. So lots to do here today on A to Z. In fact, we'll look at the Falcons roster and why pundits think it's one of the worst in the NFL. Beyond the national perspective of the Falcons, let's take a little bit more of a microscopic approach to where they are, because as they sit here getting ready to play preseason game number 2 against the Jets tonight, they had a weekend full of practices on Friday and Saturday at the Jets facility. And, you know, I'm not going to do this thing, like I said, during the first preseason game. I'm not going to do the lazy radio host thing. What do you expect to see in the second preseason game? It's just annoying, okay? You know what I expect? That nobody gets hurt, please. Because we saw that happen last night. If you weren't watching the Giants-Bengals game, first-round draft pick for the Giants, Kayvon Thibodeau, and yes, obviously I'm a little bit biased as a Giants fan, but first-round pick, Kayvon Thibodeau, Randy Moss's son actually dove at his knee, rolled up on his ankle, and almost, could have ended the guy's season before it ever got started. Thibodeau says he's okay. He walked off the field under his own power, but it looked ugly and it looked dirty. I've gone back and forth with people online on the Twitters about whether it was dirty or not, and technically it's a legal hit. Yeah, I understand technically it's a legal hit because the NFL doesn't write rules designed to protect knees unless it's a quarterback. For the other 21 guys on the field, they don't care about your knee. That's it. And in reality, there's only one knee they cared about, and that was Tom Brady. So beyond all that, I thought it was dirty. I thought he could have done a bunch of different things there to still block the guy without diving at his kneecap and rolling up on his ankle. So nobody get hurt. Because this Falcons team, we'll talk more about the roster in a minute, but this Falcons team doesn't have exactly a depth of talent. They don't have a lot of depth, period. And to that end, losing somebody for an extended period of time may take what's an already shaky foundation and make it even shakier. So please, nobody get hurt. That's the only expectation I have. That's the only expectation you should have. Now, a couple of things that I actually will look for tonight in the game. And I talked about one of them, and I want to get to this notable absence here in just a moment. But one of them I want to get to is Marcus Mariota. And there's only one thing that I want to see. And I don't even need to watch the game to see it. I want to know how many times he took off and ran versus how many times he threw. How many plays did he play? How much did they hand off? How much did he pass? And how much did he run? Because I'll say this again. If you didn't miss it the first time, the best playmaker on offense, where's number 8? His name is Kyle Pitts. Likely the second best playmaker on offense, where's number 5? And his name is Drake London. Likely the third best playmaker on this team, where's number 84? On offense, and his name is Cordero Patterson. I could probably give you at least one more, but you know who's not in the top 3 of the best playmakers on offense on this team? Marcus Mariota. Also Desmond Ridder. I don't want either one of these guys taking off and running. Throw the damn ball, especially in preseason. Throw the ball. The game doesn't count. I want to see you be able to throw the ball. I don't want to know that you can scramble for 12 yards. I know you can do that. That's great. But scrambling for 12 yards is not going to win you football games. And don't talk to me about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Lamar Jackson still threw for 36 touchdowns in his MVP year. Okay? 36 touchdowns. You think Marcus Mariota's total touchdown prop is at 36? No, it's at like 21 and a half. So, yeah. I want to see them throw the ball. I don't want to see them take off and run. Get the ball into the hands of your best playmaker. And that, to me, is the only thing that I look for offensively. And I don't have to watch the game to know it. I can just look at the stat sheet. Say, this dude took off 6 times? Hell no. Nope. He played how much? A half? He took off 6 times? No. We're not winning games that way. You're just not. All right. The notable absence on defense. There's 2 of them, actually. We'll get to those in a minute. First, a word from our friends at Coffee AM, the best small batch coffee roaster in America. Guys, I tell you about them every day because their coffee's insane. It's so good. It is off the charts. I'll never forget when that box came to my house and I opened it up. The smell that hit me in the face was like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. You're not in heaven. You might be in Tanzania. You might be in Sumatra. You might be in Kenya. You might be in a rainforest. Why? Because their coffees come from all over the world. That's what the smell is. Coffees from around the world. They're organic, fair trade, direct trade, expertly crafted blends and espressos, all at Coffee AM. And it's roasted right here in your backyard. Here's what you do. Go to coffeeam.com/locked on and take a look at their full menu of coffees, teas, and gift sets. That's coffeeam.com/locked on. And use the promo code locked on for 15% off at checkout of your first order of coffees, teas, and gift sets. Coffee AM, the best small batch coffee roaster in America. Okay, back to the Falcons. There are some notable absences to me in this preseason, this training camp. I don't hear the name Arnold Ebiketie a lot. I don't hear the name Troy Anderson a lot. I have not heard anything, and I've been out to a couple of practices, but I have not heard anybody rave about these guys. I haven't heard anybody talk about their development. I haven't heard anybody talk about their progress. I've never heard anybody even tweet out, oh, man, Ebiketie made a great play and got to the quarterback. Nothing. Silence. Crickets. And I'm not sitting here saying that these guys weren't good draft picks, but if this defense is going to be any good at all, like, didn't you get Ebiketie to get to the quarterback? Don't we need him to be able to do that on a routine basis? Didn't you get Troy Anderson to patrol the middle? Don't we need him to be able to do that on a routine basis? Like, you know, because Deion Jones is not going to be here much longer after this year, period. So where are those guys? Am I missing it? Am I the only one who has not heard a lot about those guys? Because to me, those are going to be important players. You need your second rounders and your third rounders to develop into starters in this league. Maybe not right away, but they got to get there. That's why this is such an important year for Richie Grant, right? Took him 40th overall, second round pick. This is the litmus test. Everybody's saying this is the litmus test for Ken Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith scout and draft well. If this guy can play, we're going to find out. He's going to get the starting job at safety. We're going to find out if he can play. I don't know if we know that Ebiketie and Anderson can play yet. You know, like these are the things that I start to wonder about what the status of these guys are. Because again, if they can't be consistent players, I'm not talking about high-level starters yet. I'm just talking about consistently in the rotation. If they're only limited to be able to do one thing coming out of the gate as a rookie, that's a little disconcerting to me. That's something that, like, I look at and go, okay, did we get the right guy? Who knows? I mean, it's going to take a while to figure out. But, you know, again, as I said that I'm not looking for things, I'm just curious to see how much playing time they get and if they're going to be in a rotation at some point in time, because right now it doesn't feel like they are. Right now it does not feel like they are. So we'll find out by the time we get to the end of this game here tonight when the Falcons take on the Jets. And again, beyond all that, please, 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 nobody get hurt, because this team cannot afford it. They cannot afford injuries early on. Especially against the toughness of this schedule. They're going to need a full complement of players if they hope to sneak a couple of wins in early on in the season. All right, coming up next, how bad do pundits think the Falcons roster is this year? It's kind of head-scratching and almost laughable at this point. I'll tell you that next right here on A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta.